Hi everybody, it's Curly Locks, and today I'm just making a brief video for you on how I almost died coming home from Hawaii. I just posted up the video right before this one. It was the video of when we first got to Hawaii and we had just checked in and we were hanging out on our patio, and I felt fine at that time. When I listened to it, I did hear a little raspiness in my voice, but I do remember feeling fine at that point. But again, that was our first day there. We had just got there, and I progressively was getting sicker and sicker as the days went on. So for those of you who don't know, I have a nut allergy. I have a severe nut allergy, whereas before I knew I could not eat nuts, macadamians, peanuts, almonds, pecans, anything like that. I'm not allergic to pistachios, which is really weird, and I'm not allergic to pine nuts because I can eat pesto. But all the other major nuts, I cannot ingest them. I just found out after this trip, or during this trip, that not only can I not eat the nuts, I can't even really breathe in that powder, that dust, because all nuts pretty much have that dust on that film on the outside of them, and that film is, I'm allergic to the film as well, so I can't even breathe it in. Hawaii, on the island, they cook with a lot of peanut oil. Most people who have a nut allergy are not allergic to peanut oil because peanut oil is processed, and it's the protein in the nuts that causes the allergy, and the peanut oil doesn't have that protein in it. So most people aren't allergic to peanut oil. There's like a 1 in a million chance that if you have a nut allergy that you would also be allergic to peanut oil. I'm that 1 in a million person that cannot eat anything cooked in peanut oil. They cook a lot of their food in peanut oil. So just progressively, I didn't get sick all at once. My body was breaking down slowly while we were in Hawaii. So we got there. So by Saturday, I was really feeling really sick. And I had laid down for a little while, and I told my fiance that I really wanted to go to this luau because that was a chance for everybody to get together. We were out there for my cousin's wedding, and the luau was an opportunity for everyone who had traveled to Hawaii for this wedding for us to be able to hang out the day before the wedding and spend some time together. We were all sitting together at this luau, and I didn't want to miss it. We had already paid for it, and I wanted to see everybody. And so I laid down and took a nap for a little while because we had a full day, a busy day. We had just went zip lining and a lot of other stuff during the day. So I took a nap, and I felt a little better. So I got up, got dressed, we went to this luau. There was something served at the luau again that made me feel ill. So we still ended up leaving the luau early and going back to the room and going to bed because I did not feel well at all. The next day was the wedding, and I tried to rest a little bit during the day, and we had some other excursions and things planned, and like during the day I would feel fine. After having a full night's rest, I would get up the next morning and feel fine, and just as the day progressed, I would start to feel sick. And again, it's because I was out and about on the island ingesting or smelling, breathing this nut pollen or dust or whatever you want to call it. So we go to the wedding. It's an outdoor beach wedding. We go to this wedding. It's beautiful. My cousin looks beautiful. Everybody's having a great time. And we leave and we go to the reception. And I had a small, like maybe one bite of wedding cake. And although there were no nuts in the wedding cake, whenever you're dealing with things that are cooked in a bakery, there's always going to be nuts around. There's almonds inside brownies, and and pecans, and all types of things are in a bakery. So even if there's no nuts in the cake itself, the cake could have come into contact with something that had nuts in it. And my allergy, as I've been informed since coming home from Hawaii, is that severe. So I started feeling sick at the reception. So we were the first ones to leave. So we're leaving the reception. A friend of mine had her asthma pump because I didn't have my asthma medicine because I hadn't had an asthma attack in 3 years. So I didn't have my asthma medicine with me. It was all at home. And so she gave me a puff of her asthma medicine. And as soon as we got in the car, I immediately went to sleep. I fell asleep before we even got back to the hotel. And the next day, I went home, I rested. The next day we were going to breakfast, and my body was just really feeling worn out. I was so tired. I wasn't breathing right. And I felt horrible. We leave. We're leaving. We're at the airport. We're on our way back home, and I'm feeling sick. I'm leaning on my fiance at the airport. I can't even stand up straight because I'm feeling really weak and I'm feeling really sick. And we're getting ready to go through the security gate. And I looked at him and said, if they make me stand in that machine with my hands over my head, I'm going to pass out. Like, that's how sick I felt. And so they went and got me a wheelchair and just all this stuff and wheeled me onto the plane and everything. And I just really wanted to get on the plane and go to sleep. And so I get on the plane. I'm not feeling well at all. And we take off for our 5-hour flight. And my face immediately just started itching, like really, really bad. My face was just, oh my God, it's like an uncontrollable itch that you cannot scratch. And I looked at him and I'm like, are they still serving macadamia nuts on this flight? And he asked the flight attendant, she's like, no, there's some almonds. And there was like some kind of trail mixture that they were serving everybody and had almonds in it. And the dust from the almonds gave me an allergic reaction. So my face is itching. I have my head in his lap and I slowly feel my throat closing. My chest is caving in. Like I'm feeling horribly. And the last thing I remember is I looked at him and I was like, help me. And then I went out and I was passed out for a while. He said I was like out cold for like half the flight. And we were in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and they were about to turn the plane around. The flight attendant gets on the loudspeaker and asks for a medic. Is there any medical personnel on this flight? A doctor, anybody? And mind you, I'm repeating back to you what my fiance told me because I'm out cold this whole time. When I went under, he was sitting next to me. I remember my head just kind of slumped over on him. And when I woke up, there's this white lady sitting next to me with poking a needle in my thigh. And so whatever happened between then and the time I passed out or whatever, he said it was a lot of time that passed in between there. To me, it felt like seconds. But when you're out cold, time just keeps on going. She poked me with an EpiPen. They gave me several puffs of the inhaler. They had some albuterol and some Benadryl. And then the flight attendant brought an oxygen mask, oxygen tank to me. And that was my ride home from Hawaii, from Maui. The doctor told my fiance that I could have died. She was like, if we didn't respond and have this medicine on board, like she could have died. She has a severe allergy. And, so when we landed and I was feeling better and getting ready to go to the doctor and everything, and he was like asking me why I didn't tell him. And I'm like, I told you I was allergic to nuts and I have asthma. Like I told you all these things. He was like, you didn't tell me how bad it was. And I was like, I didn't know. This has never happened to me before. I didn't know I couldn't breathe the nuts. I had no idea. I had no idea that just that dust from the nuts being in the air, I had no idea that would send me into a anaphylactic shock. And so I was it was a very, very scary situation. If you have a nut allergy, I admonish you all to make sure you get your EpiPens and keep your asthma medicine with you. I take for granted for the fact that I've been able to control and maintain my asthma for so long that I don't really walk around with my asthma medicine or with an EpiPen or with, Benadryl or anything like that, because I pretty much know what I can and can't eat and I stay away from it. And I just never thought that it was just that serious, that for it to just be in the air, that it can make me sick. But apparently I can't be around it. It's just very extremely dangerous for me. So if any of you have any allergies like that, I hope that you all just be careful. Life is just so short, and it was so scary just for me to hear the playback of everything that happened to me on this flight. So yeah, no pecans, no almonds, no macadamians, none of that stuff. I can't have any of that stuff. I can't have almond milk. I can't eat peanut butter. I have to be really, really careful. And I am grateful that there was a doctor on the flight. I'm grateful that I'm still here. Because, I mean, it was just a really, really scary situation. And I just appreciate that the people who were able to help me were there in place and able to do what they needed to do to make sure that I can be okay. So we made it home. I was removed from the airplane by medical personnel. There was an ambulance there waiting for me when we got back. And I got sick all over again. They said that the allergy stays in your body longer than the medicine. And, you know, I was feeling better. I just wanted to go home and lay down. And I went home and I went to sleep. And the next day, I had another asthma attack the next day. So I really, really have to be careful. And I know I've been away from YouTube for such a long time, just working, and I have a family, and I just have so much going on that sometimes I don't have time to get on here and make videos like I used to. And it just really made me just appreciate just life, and just grateful that God had someone on the flight that was able to respond and help me, and that my fiance thought really fast on his feet and immediately got the flight attendant and was like, we need some help. And I'm just appreciative of that. I'm happy to be back home. I love Hawaii, but I doubt I will be back there anytime soon. And of course, it's not Hawaii's fault. Hawaii is a beautiful place. I have a great time every time I go. I just have to be really, really careful. Just now that I know. So just make sure you get yourself checked out. Make sure you keep your asthma pumps full, your prescriptions full, keep your EpiPens, and just take care of yourselves and just be careful out there, because you never know when an emergency situation is going to come up. So again, I'm grateful, and I am not going to stay away this long anymore. I feel like I have a whole new lease on life. Like I've been given a second chance to just do everything that I've been procrastinating and putting on the back burner, because we get these jobs and we just have so many things going on that a lot of things that I'm really passionate about and I really care about end up on the back burner, because you're just trying to make a living, so that you can take care of your family, and which is honorable, which is a good thing to do. But I just don't let your passions die and then something happens to you, and those things that you're really passionate about were never able to come to fruition. So if you can take anything away from this video, just make sure that you live life to your absolute fullest. Don't put things on the back burner. Don't procrastinate. Don't put things off for tomorrow if you can really do it today, because this is truer to me now than it has ever been in my entire life. Tomorrow is not promised. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate those of you who reached out to me on my Facebook page, those who knew I was sick, and those of you who follow me on Instagram. I appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, that's it. Life is short. Just grab the bull by its horns and live your life to the ultimate fullest. Thank you guys so much. Love you.